you and his wife
still can't even look at each other.
Possibly, I feel like this happens all over the pit area. Dirt Track Confessions. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Ladies and gentlemen, you wanted it, you got it. The place for the untold, real, raw, and juicy stories of dirt track racing. It's Dirt Track Confessions. And now here's your host, Mandee Pauch Mahaney.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dirt Track Confessions. I'm your host, Mandee Pauch Mahaney. Today we have my husband, Mike, joining us. What's up, babe?
Hi.
So the other night, we're on our way home from the races, and we were discussing how indoor racing, right? So we were discussing how like so many things change and evolve and like drivers come and go, and the ones that are still necessarily like around in the indoor racing for as long as I've been in it. And I mentioned this one person, and I go to Mike, and I was like, I don't know if I really like him. I was kind of rattling off some names of people that are still around that I'm friends with, but I pretty much was like, yeah, I don't like him. I'm pretty sure he like dumped my dad indoors like 15 years ago or something. And I'm pretty sure your response was like, seriously?
Yeah, I was like blown away.
Yeah.
You don't like this guy, and you don't even really know why.
And I don't even know why. So yeah, so that's pretty much the topic we're diving into, because there was an incident on the track that Mike really, I want you to touch on, that kind of correlates with this, because I feel like I've evolved thus far as a human.
We're always growing and learning.
Yeah.
But I had just felt that I went, so what was the reason you don't like this guy? And
I still don't remember. I like,
you're not exactly sure. You just assume it was like because of that. And so I'm going, well, it must be a common occurrence that like literally anyone that has threatened your dad on the racetrack or in some way, what I mean? Like got together or it could have been an accident, could have been on purpose. Who knows? But
so there's a lot of people out there I don't like. I know.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like I've passed the threshold of, okay, that was then, this is now. But for you had a really good point with the happenings on the race, because we knew the two people personally enough. If you'd like to kind of explain the situation.
You're going to have to get me a little further in.
You don't remember? We were pretty tired driving home.
Yeah.
So it was between Tyler Thompson and Anthony Sesley in the heat race they got together.
Yeah. Okay. So
am I freshening you up?
Yeah, they had to start side by side, and you're in this little tiny indoor track, and it's hardly wide enough to run side by side, but on the restarts they're double file, and eventually the guy in the bottom wants to move up on the straightaway, and the guy on the top wants to move down in the corners.
Yep.
There's a little bit of an outside in the corners. They put some sticky stuff down and everything, but generally they're looking for eventually to get to the bottom. So I'm seeing them battle. I don't know how many restarts they had, but somewhere middle of the heat race, Tyler had gotten ahead of Anthony, and his right rear was about lined up with the left front
of Anthony's car.
And Tyler started creeping out on the straightaway, and Anthony was there, and he didn't back out, but he didn't come down either. He just was like there. Yep. And Tyler turned nose into the wall, tipped up, crashed.
Did he like flip and do
slid all the way along the straightaway, crashed into the turn wall,
the Jersey barriers, those things
tipped
are hard.
over, and I mean hit really hard.
Yeah.
Somehow the car was only damaged like the left rear wheel. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was other damage as they looked later, but the major damage was the left rear wheel being bent. And the crew kind of looked at it and went, well, it's gonna vibrate a lot, but
Keep going.
keep going. But Tyler never even got out of the car. He just fired it up, went.
Let's go.
He passed 3 more cars.
That's impressive.
He got himself back up into position to qualify for the race. And if you finish last in the heat, because you're broke, it makes it much harder to get in.
Yeah.
And I think that was the deal. So for Anthony, I mean, he broke something in front end, I think, and
he could not keep going.
Pulled in the infield, and then so the front 2 cars are out of the heat race. Somebody else ended up.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Mike's watching from the grandstands. I'm in the pit. So Tyler is at my brother's teammate for the indoor racing. Tyler comes in and we're like, what happened? And listen, this is just what happened from our point of view. The crew's kind of pretty heated and they're blaming it on Cecily. Whereas you saw Cecily's people blaming on Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that both teams had a point.
Yeah.
And both teams had every reason to be upset because both of their cars got damaged and they weren't able to finish. So the main reason for being upset is that they didn't get to finish the race. If they both made the contact and they both made it out of it and finished 1-2 in the heat race, they probably would have been, hey, man, that was a hell of a race. Yeah. That was pretty exciting, huh?
Yeah.
And not said a damn thing. But because it ended in not good for either one of them.
Yeah.
The teams are upset. The drivers are upset. It's.
He said, she said.
Yeah. So I don't know how we brought this. Last night it was this will be a great podcast topic. And then now you want me to
talk about
bring it back.
But for me, I think what really I connected with is what I had mentioned to you is there could be 5,000 people, 10,000 people in the stands. Every single person saw what had happened. Every single person saw it differently.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They all saw it differently. And I still don't know where we're going with this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm picking up the slack over here.
We're gonna have to figure this out real quick.
This is why I tell you we need notes when we come on here.
Notes would be good.
Notes would be great. So the thing with that is you could be a Cecily fan. You could be a Tyler Thompson fan. You could be a fan just likes watching people crash and burn and crazy stuff happens. But people remember that. So when Tyler came in, my brother pretty much calmed Tyler and was like, listen, you're going to have to race with him. We have more races coming up, indoor races coming up. We're going to have to race with him. Don't do anything.
I wasn't there for that part.
Yeah.
So,
don't do anything stupid, cool off. But that's where growing up, I mean, when you're a part of a crew, usually there's a form you sign when you go in the pits and you say I'm with team 35 or I'm with team 15 or whatever. And you sign in essentially attached to the driver. So the actions you have consequences on the driver also.
Yeah.
Big time.
So yeah, you gotta kind of keep your composure and everybody has emotions.
Yeah.
And it's hard to hold that back, especially when you have, you put so much effort into just being there and trying to be competitive. And so say you're there and you have a really good car and you feel like you have a chance to win and you feel like this other team is what got in your way and prevented that from happening. And
emotions are haywire, man.
Emotions.
Yeah.
So if you could take the emotions out of it and look at it and take a step back, look at the video, take your emotion out of it and look at what actually happened. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you can look at it with a clear head and go, it was a racing deal.
Usually you should do that the day after.
Right. But what happens is the day of is when everybody has the emotions and all that stuff goes down. And when stuff happens beyond what happened on the racetrack and it goes farther, then you have a hard time letting go of that.
Yeah.
You know, the crew gets in a fight or somebody says something they shouldn't have said beyond what happened that might have been an accident on the racetrack. Now it's like, okay, well, we watched the replay and that really wasn't so bad, but you still said that.
Yeah.
So now it's hard to let that go. And it's all just because we all have emotions and it's part of the sport.
So this has me thinking. So for anyone listening, anyone watching, I'm going to say the color red. You're going to look around the room and tell me, Mike, what do you see that's red?
The record button.
What else?
I don't know. That's the only thing I can find that's red.
Okay, well that one.
There's a red string over there.
Okay, there you go. So before
red
you
button.
before you
red
walked
light on the camera.
before you walked into this room, did you once think red?
No,
Until now.
I didn't think about even the record button being red.
Exactly. That means it's recording. We're all right now.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is wherever you're at right now, listening to this, watching this, look around and you think red. Well, you're training your mind to see that. And so like we've had instances where our in-car footage or someone else's in-car footage, they post it and they're like, you know, they want to show that they were not in the wrong. And for us, like if we're on the, I don't know, is it defense or offense side? Help me out here. Is like, let's go to we'll roll with Tyler and Anthony. Is Tyler wants to show he was in the right. Anthony was in the wrong. Anthony wants to show he's in the right. Tyler was in the wrong. They're going to be looking at that footage, digging. They're going to see just red. They're going to find that one piece.
Yeah. They're not looking at it open-mindedly.
Correct.
Right. And
Yes.
and again, you just can't get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of it. I don't think you can get rid of that one-sidedness of approach of looking at things.
Well, that too was in Allentown. Perfect example is the slingshot feature. How that resulted. I mean, that was a wild finish. If anyone's there, if anyone watched it, the leader coming out of turn 4, going for the checkered,
gets spun by the car in second.
Yeah.
And so he finishes the race. They at first assume that
the leader
that
spun
is the winner.
Correct.
And he goes to victory lane. He gets out of the car. He throws his
Celebrates.
hand in the air, celebrates. And, I mean, mid-celebration, they kind of announce, well, we're not sure that this is correct because, it spun around, and he was rolling backwards sort of across the line, but they weren't sure if he actually crossed the finish line.
Yeah.
So if he didn't cross the finish line, then how did he win? Mm-hmm. And then it was like, well, we can't award this to the guy that spun him out because we're going to penalize him for spinning him out. Mm-hmm. So now the win gets awarded to the guy that crossed the line third.
Yeah.
He goes to victory lane, celebrates, and now we've got 2 other teams that are
pissed,
furious.
Yeah.
At this whole thing. Now, step aside and say and they all watch it and they're still probably mad to this day.
Of course,
they're probably mad at me for having this opinion.
Yeah.
Of it.
We all have our own opinions.
But if you step back and look at it with no emotion and not having any attachment to any of the teams, you're probably a little bit glad that they looked at.
Yeah. They had more eyes on it. You know?
Yeah. But I've been in the car, and I know what it feels like to feel like they're coming after you. Because, in the car, you don't have the ability to talk back. You don't have the ability to watch the replay. Everybody, the fans are all watching the replay. The officials are watching the replay. The cameramen, they're all seeing what actually happened, and the people in the car and the crews are all down on the track, like in the infield, and they can't really see it. And you're sitting there going, man, this can't be happening to me, and how could this possibly be happening to me right now? And after all this, you know, like, you're going to take this away from me?
Yep.
I can't, you know, it's a really hard thing to accept. And then to try and stay calm and not get excited and not get emotional.
Say things, do things.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's so hard. It is so hard. And well, that's kind of what ties me to me not liking this one random driver. Guys, I don't personally know anything about this guy. It's just one instant that I'm still thinking happened because I still don't know exactly. I just like put a Post-it note on his forehead and was like, I don't like you. I don't know why. And listen, I don't have a problem with the person. I've never had problems with him ever since, but I guess this is me confessing that I don't have a problem with this guy anymore. We're over it. However.
So you think you can forgive him for the thing that you forgot what he did?
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
Progress.
But that's the thing is, we tie these stories that over time we have manipulated in our favor. Right? So like this Tyler and Anthony, the slingshot guys, or myself or you, like there's instances that over time we feed ourselves these things. We feed ourselves red. And then all of a sudden it's like you I don't want to say you lose sleep over it, but it affects you negatively. And we don't want that.
It builds and builds. And eventually you got to release it.
Yeah, so this has happened a few
times. It's better if you let go of it. Find some sort of
some way to
resolve it.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
Whether you need to, you know, talk about it with someone, or I don't know. But
well, this was another thing. If you're open talking about it, was someone just asked the other day is. With one of your rivals, it was like, well, is this for show, you and this driver, or is it legit? And I liked your response because you're like, I don't know this person as a human. And that's the thing is every single one of us, that guy I did not like, who I see twice a year indoor racing, and I'm just like, no, I don't like that person. Why? I don't know the person. I don't know him off the track. I don't know what he likes for dinner. I don't know if he has kids. You know,
and I think a lot of people feel like they think they know them.
Exactly.
You know, I think people think that they know me based on, you know, our videos, things like that, and they get to know me a lot more than some of the other drivers.
Correct.
But people have a lot of opinions about a lot of drivers, a lot of people, and they don't know a lot about them.
No.
You know, and I feel like that's why I gave that answer, is because I don't. Yeah, do I have situations where I get frustrated with other people on the racetrack? Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
But most of the time, I don't know anything about them off the track. I mean, very little, other than whatever they, you know, put on Facebook.
Yeah.
or you know, like,
or whatever they say.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Which is usually 0.001 of what people are.
Correct.
You know, what they put on social media.
Correct.
It's a very small portion of who they really are, what they are like at home. And you know, a lot of these people have other passions besides racing.
Yeah.
It's hard to comprehend.
So I've been talking about it. I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast yet, but I am involved in the works of a film being made with modifieds in it, which is freaking amazing. It's called Pony. And in the production of this, the person doing the script and really like piecing the parts together, putting the parts together, I guess I'll say, is he's getting, applications for drivers that want to be involved in the movie, for cast, for like men, women. And he's kind of tossing them by me because like they're not involved in racing whatsoever, and they are confiding into my advice because I'm in the modified world, right? He had reached out about this one specific driver, and he goes, "What do you know about him?" And I was very frank. I was like, "Listen, I will share my experience with you, but I don't want that to sway your opinion. I want you to go in with an open slate, right? Like this is his reputation, but like you have to go into it open-minded."
Yeah, and he should look at it as, well, yes, this is what his reputation looks like to Mandee Pauch.
Correct. Yes.
Not necessarily to everyone.
Correct. And I told him, I'm like, I don't know if he's nice. I don't know if he's funny. I don't know if he's good at acting. All I know is how he races on the track.
Yeah, so you're more than welcome to give him a chance or not, but make your own assessment, right?
Correct.
And that's the tough thing. I think a lot of what I was trying to get across with our conversation last night was that
it's coming back to you.
Was that I feel like there are so let's say me and so and so have get together on the racetrack, and it's a crappy situation. Both of us end up not finishing the race or something like that, and you and his wife are now like sworn enemies.
Yeah. Nothing happened.
Me and the other driver
between me and her
can shake hands, get over it.
Yep.
Not even care anymore.
Yep.
And a year or two later, you and his wife
still can't even look at each other.
Possibly not get along over something that we're already over and past.
Yeah.
And the way I'm bringing this up is because I feel like this happens all over the pit area. I mean, constantly. That's why
she did that.
Half of the women don't get along with each other.
Hey, men too. Men too. Okay.
Yes, I shouldn't make this a gender thing, but I just feel
so
like
true.
that's just so. It's just so common.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's tough to watch because it's like, why aren't these people getting along? And it makes the sport less enjoyable to want to be involved in if everything there's just turmoil everywhere you look. Sometimes there's times when I've been down about racing and felt like, man, it sucks. Like you go to the racetrack and all you got is like everybody hates you.
Yep.
You know, and I could race like with all intentions of just being clean and not even worrying about whether I'm winning or not, and just being out there. And accidents can happen, and then people still hate you. You know, or people can hate you for no reason. People can just have an opinion for whatever, and it's like you could try and be someone you're not or whatever. Whatever you do, everybody's always still going to have some sort of opinion. So, like, the easier thing is to just let it slide off of your shoulder and not care. But I mean, we all want to be able to enjoy this sport that we love, and we're all here, and it's so. Something I'm trying to do and work on is try and actually love the other people that are involved, like the people I'm racing against, the other crews. Is appreciate them for being there, because without them there wouldn't be a race.
Correct.
So what would be the point? It wouldn't be a lot of fun, would it?
No.
So you got to appreciate that all these other people are building these cars and going out and racing you. And they all have different personalities and characteristics that make it interesting.
Yes.
And when you're racing, that attitude of, you know, this is something that I need to work on, and I could suggest for myself, but I maybe could help other people too, is that, you know, if I go into a race mindset of, man, all these guys are all going to hit me, and they're all evil and awful, and you know, you got there with that attitude, it's like you're probably gonna get wrecked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or bent or pushed into the wall or something because you got that attitude. But like if you got the attitude of like, oh, this is fun, like this is so great. I can't wait to like rub side rails with these guys and have a good time. Then it's like you probably will just, you know, brush off of people, bounce your way through and get to the front and have no issues and nothing breaks and you have a great time.
Yeah.
So it's just something to like, it's all a mindset thing and something that, you know, Mandee's worked on with me and, you know, I'm still working on myself, but I'm hoping that helps me improve on the racetrack. You know, if I stop worrying about the, you know, there's so many aspects, like, you know, if you're driving and you don't care about the car, you're less likely to have these frustrations. But like, you build the car and drive it, you're more likely to be concerned about bending the rubber rails and bumpers and stuff.
So,
especially if you pay for them,
yes,
and have to replace them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to it.
Yeah. So I guess for me, it's you lose so much time in life when you hold grudges. You know, it like I used to, and I'm sure you can feel the same way, and a lot of us feel the same way, is like we want everyone to like us. And so when someone doesn't like us, we let them into our heads and we let them control what we do and how we act and how we show up. And me not liking these certain drivers, it literally has a hold on you, whether you like it or not. And so just the other day, ironically, this is like all coming together here. I ran into a girl who I don't want to say we were like good friends when we were younger, but we had friends in common. And I probably had not spoken to her in like 10 years. And she goes to races. Had not spoken to her in maybe even more than 10 years. Who knows? And we crossed paths and I was like, you know what? Let's make small talk. Because I remember you and I got in the truck and I was like, that was really nice. You know? And again, I could not tell you why we didn't talk. Yeah. Not a clue.
It's always something very small.
Yeah.
That really doesn't matter after time goes on, and then Correct. You look back and go, really?
Yeah.
Why were we worried about that?
Yeah. Like there's I'll always remember is someone once told me it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. What?
It only takes 2 muscles to smile.
Oh, is that a show? Because I definitely don't know that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everything's from a show or a movie.
Everything he quotes is from something I do not know. He's got a memory of a sponge here. And I always remember is when I was younger, you know, I think was it your dad? I don't know. So I posted somewhere is how whether I like you or not, I'm still going to smile. And I just deep down, I feel sorry for the people who.
Now everyone doesn't know if you're happy to see them when you smile.
Exactly.
If they watch this.
But I truly feel sorry for the people who have a grudge with me, have a grudge with you, or anyone that they have to physically go out of their way. There are people still to this day that I will see them in the pits or out in public somewhere, and they literally go this way. You know, it's like a V-turn this way. And I'm like...
To avoid.
Yeah. And that is so much work and anxiety, and just get over it or talk to me or you or whomever about it. You know, you got to find a way to get through it.
Yeah.
Because that all you're doing is letting those people control you. And so the wife that still has not spoken to me in years or won't even look at me, like, I feel sorry for her. And that's not a dig to make her feel bad, but I truly feel sorry because I don't feel that way, and I don't want her to feel that way.
Yeah. It's like you could probably have that short of a conversation.
Yeah.
And it could all be over with.
Yeah.
And
some people are just so stuck. And same with that random guy that I just frick if I even know what his real name is. And I was just like, I don't like him.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
it doesn't even matter what the name is because
No.
that example could go on to many others.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be that guy. It could be any other guy that crossed you
Yeah.
at some point. So, yeah, what an interesting thing.
Isn't it? I'm glad you finally kind of molded together our conversation.
Took a while.
Yeah.
You got it.
I need to catch up.
What else do you want to talk about?
Oh, you want to hang out? I think you need to feed me. It's dinner time.
Okay. I like these quick podcasts
They're
about
fun.
nothing.
It's about something. They're going to leave here feeling differently. Either they're going to feel inspired or they're going to feel like she hates me. But I don't hate you. I promise. I don't hate you.
But they're going to think like, oh, that thing that I'm upset about is
Yes.
nothing.
Exactly. It is nothing. Like, crap. In my book I'm reading, I think it's a book or a podcast, I don't know. It talks about how, let's just hypothetically say, I don't know, this has just come to mind, we're going to roll with it, is you are getting onto a train, you're scared to get on this train because what if this train crashes? What if it breaks down? What if it catches on fire? What if it blows up? And this is my OCD thinking here, guys. And just think to yourself, well, what is the percentage? I mean, hey, feel free to Google it if you really want to. But what has been helping me is like, what is the percentage of this actually happening? Does that make sense?
You don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know. But like, what is the actual percentage of that happening?
I don't know.
Exactly. So that tiny little thing that you're
I wasn't sure if you were expecting me to know that percentage.
No, I'm
It's not my expertise.
Pull it out. It's like that tiny percentage of, not percentage, but you being mad at that person or something catastrophic happening or you talking to that person and then like, I don't know, doing something insane. Like you are leading yourself up. Like you are playing all the negative results that could possibly happen through your head instead of just doing it. Like what is that percentage that you are going to die by letting it go? Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Did it?
It makes great sense.
Okay. Thank you.
You gotta believe that you're gonna make it through.
You are going to make it through.
Otherwise, you're just gonna be a bottled up mess.
Yeah, and you're letting, again, at the end of the day, you're letting those people control you, whether you like it or not. Like if Tyler and Anthony were to go at it, it just shows they're letting the other person control them. To me, in their heads. You gotta talk it out.
Or maybe that's how they get over it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they need to go at it and then be like, all right, man,
Good game.
glad we did that so we
Yeah.
could get over it.
Yeah. You gotta find ways to let that go.
Whatever lets it out.
Yeah.
We've had some people bring up recently that they should just let the drivers fight it out and not penalize them for that. But make sure they do it on the front stretch so that the fans can watch.
Yeah.
Because at least then it benefits everyone.
That is true. You give them a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have it happening in the pits.
I mean,
Everyone misses out.
don't let them use any,
Weapons.
weapons.
No, absolutely
so
not.
that nobody gets seriously hurt.
No. And that too. I mean, oh my gosh, we could keep going, but I don't know. I guess I can end it here because people, again, that hold grudges, like it's between the drivers. It's between the drivers. Like if the drivers can get over it, we can get over it. You know?
Yeah. Or will they?
Oh, the world will never know.
Maybe we can just keep being upset about it. Just go on forever being upset about
miserable. Sounds absolutely miserable. Please do not do that. Okay, guys. So, Mike, thank you for joining in. We need to do more of this. I need to like batch you up and do like a full day of content with you. Just a full day so I can have you for the year. And then you're free to roam.
Okay.
Think it's possible?
Probably not, but
I don't think
we
so.
could probably get one of these every once in a while and
That'd be nice.
again some other time.
I gotta get you before racing starts. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy this, please like it. Please share it. Share it on social media. Shout it from the rooftops. Give us your 2 cents. Tell us your stories. The more you share it with your friends, loved ones, family, social media, the more it helps us and it helps you in return. So thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
I'm going to start letting all this stuff go. So if you want me to have a rivalry with someone, you're going to have to pay me just so that there's some reason.
I like that. Let's do it. Please don't, but let's do it.
No, don't do it.
Let's not. All right. Thank you guys. See ya.
See ya.